Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is your girl C.
It's your boy Dono.
And we are here to bring you a very special video today. It's one that's dear to our hearts, right. One that we cherish forever.
And a lot of people have been waiting on this video.
And a lot of people have been waiting on this video, and we keep saying that we were going to get it out, but we just didn't have enough space. But as you can see, we're recording off of our new camera now. So we now have the space and everything that we need to do to go ahead and record this video.
Right. This video to life and to really just share our thoughts throughout the process of our daughter's journey being on this earth.
Yeah.
Right now, we know that she's presently laying in the presence of God right now. She's in heaven. But we just wanted to share her story, how it impacted a lot of people. It is a story of restoration, really like reuniting a lot of families.
Right.
And really just rekindling our relationship as one. So it really helped us out during that time. So before you do that, we want you guys to subscribe.
Yep. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, share. Let us know that you guys are here and you're watching this video. Right. And just go ahead, hit that. Also hit that notification bell as well, so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Right. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get started.
Thoughts on having our first child? What was that like? What did you envision it to be like? You know?
I envisioned it just to be like very simple. When we first got together, I had this idea in my head, like we're gonna have like 4 kids. Everything's just gonna be natural. It's gonna be great. Everything's just gonna go smoothly. And I didn't at that point in time, I wasn't really like concerned about it until somebody spoke to us about it while we were like in a service, and then it started like hitting me like, oh man, like we've been together for a while now. Right. When will the children come into play? Yeah. So we talked about it for a little bit. We had the discussion, how many kids we wanted, around what time did we want them. And that was just kind of it. We kind of left it after that and really didn't talk about it more because we really focused on like traveling and like just going and seeing different things before the kids came. Right. Yeah. Just to like get a closer relationship with each other. Right. Yeah. So what about you?
I think it was kind of the same thing. I had thought about it. I like if they came, they came. But I think at that time we were so busy on like traveling from state to state, and just like I said, getting different experiences because I've been here my whole life. Right. So it was a great opportunity just to get away from the good old Midwest and travel a little bit up north and just have those different experiences. But when the child came, I was like, all right, cool. Right.
So I guess maybe not even a good 3-4 months later after we had that conversation about the kids. We did pray. We did pray about it. And we were like, okay, God, if you want us to have a child, we pray that you unlock my womb and you let our children come when they're supposed to come. Right. So not even a good 3 months after that prayer, I was at my grandmother's house. I was over there visiting her for a little bit, and Donovan, he was with me. Yeah. And we were coming down the stairs, and I just felt this wave of like nausea hit me. Yeah. Like it was a uncontrollable wave. It was just unexpected, just hit me out of nowhere. Right. And I was just like, oh babe. I was like, hold on, wait. I don't feel good. And he's like, what's wrong with you?
I'm trying to hear him walk downstairs.
He's like, come on, we gotta get to the car. And I was like, wait, I feel like I'm about to. So I'm just like, I'm like hurling at this point. Like,
I'm thinking it's something that we ate because I know we had just ate like some. It was some fast food. We just ate before we went over at grandmother's house. Yeah. So I'm like, what's going on with her?
And I kid you not, by the time I got down the stairs into the car, I was throwing up. Yeah. Like I was throwing up, and it was so strong. I can specifically remember how strong it was because it just hit me out of nowhere. Yeah. And after that, I didn't think about it anymore. I know. And then 2-3 weeks later, I want to say it hit me again, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And my cycle was missing. Yeah. It hadn't came on time, and I think I was just so busy with my life that I didn't even recognize that it hadn't even come. So. I took a pregnancy test and it was negative.
Yep.
It was negative. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that means that I'm not pregnant then,
sick.
right? You know, I'm just randomly throwing up for no reason. So I think I want to say
Like
two more weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I kept falling asleep. I was so tired. I was short of breath. Like all of the symptoms of pregnancy, basically.
Yeah.
So on a date night, it was a day before that. I'd had a conversation with my sister-in-law, and I was like, "Hey, I just feel so weird." She was like, "Yeah, I know, sis. Are you sure you're not pregnant?"
Right.
And I was like, "Well, I can't be. I don't know, because I had irregular cycles at that time as well."
Wow.
So I think it was date night.
Yeah.
We went on date night. Went to the movies. Went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and for some reason, I grabbed a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
I grabbed one and I took it that night, and sure enough, it was a blazing positive. I mean, it came up so quick. Yeah. So I ran out the door, like, from the bathroom, and I'm like, Todd, oh my God.
Yeah. I'm over like, are you okay?
The whole time he's just sitting there like, like, I think it was like shock maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know what to say at that time because it was like literally. Now my brothers, they've always told me the first initial reaction to when they had their children was like they think about their life in like 30 seconds. I saw my life spin in 30 seconds and I'm like, wow, I got a child now. I'm over like, I got a child. And I'm just like, well, I want you to test again because I'm like, I just want to be for sure. So I had her test again.
Yep, I tested that morning at Kroger in the Kroger bathroom.
Yeah,
I sure did in the Kroger bathroom. I bought it at Kroger and I took it in the Kroger bathroom.
And then she came back because I think that was that Monday.
Yeah, you were at work.
I was at work. Yeah, that was that Monday. She called me. She sent me the picture of the positive test, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's pregnant. Yeah. And I'm like, what are we going to do now? I don't know. So I literally was kind of like in this mode of, I don't want to say panicking, but I was just kind of like, I'm going to be a great father. Like, if my wife was pregnant, she kept feeling like somebody was pregnant. She kept asking all some of my colleagues, hey, are you guys with child? So this she was like, no, what about your wife? And I was like, no, I don't think she's pregnant. Literally a day later, well, that next day, I get the text message and I showed her. She was like, I knew it. So it was pretty fun just to have that moment, I guess. Right. So very intrigued.
Yeah, so I ended up like calling everybody I knew, like letting everybody know, like, oh my gosh, like we're with child, guys, like this is exciting. And it was, we were overjoyed, you know. We were a little nervous because, you know, first time parents, but we were overjoyed at the same time because it's like I'm with the man that I love and I'm having my first child with the man that I love. Like, you know, this is awesome.
Same
you know?
With the woman that I love.
So it was just like, okay, cool. So I think we really just started like trying to figure out like, okay, what do we need to do? Like we need to hurry up, we need to get this, we need to get the crib, we need to get the diapers, we need to get this, we need to get that. So we really started like planning out everything that we needed. I had to set up my insurance and my appointments and all of that stuff because I'm like a very timely person. So I had to set up like all of that stuff. I'd never done it before, so it was new to me. And I think I did pretty well under the circumstances. And so it was just like for those next couple of weeks, like I didn't really have any symptoms, like not morning sickness or anything. Majority of the time, all I did was crave like pickles and hot Cheetos, like this it together, like the hot Cheeto in the pickle.
Sidebar: I was known as the pickle guy at a convenience store that we lived by at that time. Like, hey, it's the pickle guy.
Because he kept having to go to the store to get my pickle.
Literally every day, $1 pickle.
I mean, but it
was good.
It was good though.
For her.
Like it was great for me. I absolutely loved it. It was a pretty easy pregnancy. I really didn't start having issues like that until like the 20th week
Yeah.
of pregnancy. And that was because like I started like having like cramps and stuff, and it was just weird to me. I didn't really know what I was experiencing. At one point I couldn't even get out the car.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. But the weeks leading up to the 20th week, like it was fine. Like we were excited. We had started getting things, diapers, wipes, clothes, all type of stuff. We even have like a video, and we'll go ahead and show it to you guys, where we were like shopping in the store, and he wanted to get a certain mirror, and I was like, no, let's get this small mirror. And he was like, go big or go home. So we're here at Walmart looking for baby stuff, and he wanted to grab that, and I told him he needs to get that cheaper one right there, but he want to get this. Talking about some go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
And this is what we got. Oh my gosh. We need to be looking at these car seats over here, honestly. Look at that one.
Amazon. Amazon.
I don't know what else we should get her.
Amazon.
I kind of want her to be like a... Can you put that back? That's like super expensive.
No.
This is what happens when you go newborn baby shopping with your husband. So for those of y'all that don't know, I'm 5 months pregnant. Whoa. See my belly. Yep. So we gotta get this stuff rolling. So yeah, we're just about to walk around the store and keep looking. I don't know how to turn the camera around. Ooh, I think I actually snapped a picture of us. So yeah, so I mean, like we had so many videos of everything that was happening. It was just a really joyous time. So like I said, around the 20th week is when I started actually having issues. Every ultrasound was great.
Right.
Everything looked great all the way up until
That time.
I want to say the 23rd week. The 23rd week when we went to go get my normal ultrasound, that was right around my second trimester. I was 23 weeks, so that was about almost at the 5 month mark.
Yeah.
We went to do our regular ultrasound. They usually did like the one where you know what I'm saying. Yeah, right there. And so they saw that my cervix was shorter than normal.
Yeah,
shorter than normal. So they were a little concerned, and they went ahead and gave me progesterone suppositories to basically help my levels level out, so it wouldn't seem like my body wanted to give birth, basically. So I was taking those for a while, and then I had to come back a week later. So this was the 24th week, and everything looked great. They said that everything had regulated itself. It was back up to normal. My cervix was back to normal, and everything was fine. So I want to say like 2 nights later, I was in so much pain. I honestly thought that I just had like really bad gas or something. Like that's what I really felt what it was. I didn't know what contractions felt like because I was a first time mom. So I ended up really honestly, now that I know, going into preterm labor a few nights after that appointment. So, and it was actually right at the 25th week mark. Literally, I had just turned 25 weeks pregnant, and that's when I started to go into labor. We were sitting on the couch in the living room, and because I was in pain, I couldn't really sleep. So I was like taking like, what were those chewy tablets called? Do you remember what they were called?
I forgot.
Like little chewy tablets for like gas and stuff. And so I was taking those. Gas X. Yeah, I was taking those. And I was laying on the couch, and he had stayed up like with me all night playing the game, just to make sure that I was okay. And then I don't know when it hit me, like, wait, these are contractions? Because the pain just kept coming, like boom, boom. And I was just like, oh my God, I think I'm going into labor.
And you ran out.
And so I ran out the door.
With a belly.
I ran out the door. I didn't grab a purse. I didn't grab nothing. I just ran out the door. I was like, we gotta go to the hospital now. So Donovan went and got everything that we needed.
Yeah.
And of course we didn't have a hospital bag packed or anything because I wasn't supposed to go into labor that early.
Yeah.
So we ended up rushing to the hospital, and sure enough, I was, how many centimeters was that? 6.
Yeah.
I was 6 centimeters dilated.
Yeah.
So at that point, they couldn't even stop the labor. Like they did try, but they could not stop the labor. So we just really had to go through with the process. All I remember was being rushed up to a room and a doctor coming up and saying, hey, you're going into labor. You're going to have to push. 1 push and she'll be out. And I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? No. And I'm just like, no, this is not supposed to be happening. Like, not this fast, not this soon. This isn't right.
Right.
And like the nurses kept trying to console me and say everything was going to be okay. They had the best NICU center there in the state. Like everything was going to be fine. But I mean, it's just something like, like this isn't right. Like I knew she was not supposed to be coming that soon.
Yeah.
So they wheeled me up to the room. Donovan's with me. He's, I don't know, were you like freaking out? We're both freaking out at this point. Yeah. We were both freaking out.
We just knew it was way too early at that time for Melonie to come, and especially upon those conditions as well.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like you're 6 centimeters. Yeah. And you're only, 25 weeks in? Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's not normal.
So like...
for me, I was definitely just trying to remain calm, but still knowing like this isn't right here. So.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up getting everything. They ended up getting me hooked up to everything. I was going through contractions. They were the worst contractions ever, I have to say. I was squeezing his hand. He was trying to tell me everything was going to be okay. Yeah. The nurses wouldn't give me water. I just had to chew on ice chips. Like it was traumatic. I will say that it was very traumatic. So they of course had to manually burst my water bag, which was it's funny now, his reaction, but then it was just like, oh my God.
Never saw that before in my life. I mean, now, not in that condition.
Like literally all you hear is like, and you hear, oh my God.
I was like, woo.
It was like, now I laugh at it because like I said, it wasn't funny at that time because there's like so many things happening, but like now it's like you really said that. Like you, the loudest one in the room. Oh my God.
I had some other choice of words.
Oh my gosh. It was traumatic. I'm not even gonna lie. It was traumatic for me because I'm sitting there like calm down. And I'm like, no, like I'm just like screaming, going crazy. So that happened, and she was like, 1 push and she'll be out. And then right when they were counting down for me to push, and then they were like, wait, she's breached. So somehow at the last minute, Melonie flipped herself. Like, nope, never mind. I don't want to come out. Like, no, thank you. I'm not coming out. So immediately her heart rate started dropping. My heart rate started dropping. And it was just like, you have to have an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
And I had never thought that I was going to be, not saying emergency C-sections are wrong, but the recovery time for them is a lot longer than having a natural birth.
Yeah.
Which is what I didn't want. I wanted to have a natural birth. I actually wanted to have a home birth, water birth with Melonie so that I could avoid all of the other stuff that came with having a C-section. So they said I had to have a C-section. They unhooked me, didn't even allow him to come back to where I was. Yeah. And before I knew it, they put a mask on my face and I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, like during the time she was going away, I was definitely nervous. I was a little bit trying to remain optimistic, but at the same time, I'm kind of like a little skeptic right now because I'm like, okay, we have emergency surgery. She's 25 weeks in. She's 6 centimeters in, and I'm like, this doesn't add up. So I'm not trying to think for the worst. I'm trying to remain as optimistic as I can. So I remember I called a couple of people. I let my job know. I let her employers know. I let some of my friends, some of our close friends know that, hey, we're in that moment. And everybody kept saying, like, is she just 25 weeks? So that was kind of like building up like that. Oh Lord, what if, you know? And not saying it's wrong to have those moments, but every moment you feel at that moment, it's okay to feel that. But for me, I would say I was trying to remain optimistic.
Right.
But so when she got done with the surgery, you know, they wheeled her back in. We at first nobody was able to see her but me.
Right.
But because I went up there to go take a picture, and maybe we could try to insert the picture.
Yeah, we could put the picture in right here. Of our first picture of her.
The first picture of her, and I remember I was looking at her and I was like, oh my gosh, like she's moving with her fingers and stuff, like she's trying to move cords out of her nose and all that stuff. And I could definitely tell, like, yeah, that's my daughter right there. So I don't like things and tubes and stuff like that. So it was just like looking at something that you created. And like, man, like she kind of has my skin tone. Right. And like, you know, like, wow, she kind of has like some of my facial expressions. I mean, I know she was young, but for me, I was able to see it because I was her father.
Right.
So it was just great to have that moment. And I was only supposed to be up there for 10 minutes. I stayed up there for like an hour.
Yeah, because at that point I was knocked out. Like I was still
she was still in like the incubator, so I wasn't able to like physically touch her. Like I could touch her through the thing and she'll grab my hand. She'll squeeze it. She didn't let it go for a longer, so she just kept squeezing onto it. So I was like, man, this is crazy. So I remember I went back downstairs and I let her know. He was like, yeah, you wanted to go see her. We had to wait like a couple more minutes because they had to do more testing with you. And then eventually we went up there, and then that's when we started receiving some news regarding like some issues that Melonie was having at that time regarding like the heart and
her heart. I think it was like her organs.
Yeah, her organs are kind of still at
they weren't fully developed.
Yeah.
She had hemorrhaging in her brain.
Yeah.
Because of, you know, how everything had happened. Yeah. And like just like those were really, and her oxygen levels were pretty low. Like she was struggling breathing.
Yeah.
So they kind of threw it on us as soon as we came up there.
Yeah. And we're just like, we never prepared for that, for those moments. And like I said, not like anybody should prepare for those. Like this is not to like prepare for the worst.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, have those conversations as well, because sometimes you can't allow other people to influence your decisions.
Right, exactly.
And you want to make sure that if it's you and whoever your spouse is or whoever your partner is at that time, make sure that you guys definitely have that conversation, because I mean, things like that do happen, and we were one of those families who were affected by it.
Right.
So I would definitely say you want to keep that communication alive right there. So, but you know, at that time we made a common decision to say, hey, you know what, we're going to go through with this.
Yeah.
We believe this is what we feel is best as a family.
Right.
And we was like, hey, we're going to fight this. And we did. The first day was a pretty good success. Yep. There were some things that we noticed, like when we were up there, Melonie will respond great.
Yeah, right.
But the moment we had to go back down, because mind you, you know, we haven't had any sleep. And then even in that, you know, my wife just had emergency surgery, so she can't sit down for a long period of time. So it's like, hey, I'm willing to stay up here. You can stay down there, have somebody stay, which I don't know, but it was just like, there was a lot going on, and there were like a lot of outside voices, some who were beneficial, other people were not.
Right.
And, you know, during that time, it was kind of like my responsibility to kind of make sure that the atmosphere is set, making sure that, hey, everyone knows their place, so that you're not stepping over, you know, the next person's place or our space, you know. So, and that was something that we had to learn during that time quickly. Yeah. And that, like I said, it was one of those things that wasn't discussed prior to, but it was kind of like on the fly. Now, you know, granted, hindsight, we can kind of look and say, hey, we shouldn't have done it,
right?
Or they shouldn't have been this, or they shouldn't have done that. Kind of definitely set up like visiting times and things like
Just
that.
have those things in order.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it's very important.
It is very important, and we learned from all of that.
Right.
But at that time, we didn't know. So, like, you know, while my nurses were amazing, you know, some of the doctors were very discouraging. Some of the people were speaking very negatively over our situation, and just really kind of dampering the actual moment that we were supposed to be happy that our daughter was here.
Right.
And so I think that from all of that, we learned how to protect our moments and protect those moments. But the first day was really she made it through.
Yeah, she made it through.
They literally kept telling us she was not going to live past the day she was born. And she just kept fighting, and we kept fighting, and we said to the doctors, as long as she keeps fighting, we're going to keep fighting. And I told them, don't touch her plug, don't touch her oxygen levels. As long as she keeps fighting, we're going to keep fighting. And she did. She lived on through. She was just moving everywhere, and we actually got to hold her the first day. We got to do skin to skin contact. And so it was the most breathtaking beautiful thing. Just made me want to cry. Like it was perfect. Like I loved holding her and feeling like her little hands, and even seeing you hold her. And like I said, we're inserting clips through this whole video because we want to be able to share Melonie with the world. And it was just like every time we were with her, it was just like our faith, like we just kept having more faith and more faith, and everything was just, even like some of the people who came in there were just like, you could just feel the faith in the room. You could feel God, Jesus in the room with us. And it was just like, we just kept believing like, she's going to keep fighting. You're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting. No matter what the doctors are saying, we were going to keep fighting. And so the second day, it was pretty much the same thing. We got no sleep. Those entire 3 days,
we didn't sleep at all.
I don't think we slept at all.
Bless you.
Thank you. Those entire 3 days, I don't think we slept at all. And so it was just like, whenever we were up, whenever I could, you know, because like I said, like you said, I had just gotten out of surgery, so it wasn't really like I could move around much. And I wasn't used to having a C-section. That was my first time ever. So I just wanted to be up with my child, but I couldn't get up like I wanted to. So a lot of times I would have to call the nurse. They'd have to clean me, help dress my, put the thing, the little wrap, you know, women, you know, the little wrap around thing. And then I'd have to like literally struggle to the wheelchair and get wheeled up to her room, to the NICU area. But I wanted to be by her side every moment. Like I did not want to leave her. I just loved her, like even just everything. Like I did not want to leave her. So on the third day is when the doctors had came down earlier that morning, like around 3 a.m. And was like, everything's good, she's doing fine, her levels have regulated. And I remember sending out a text to everybody like, hey guys, the doctors are saying everything's regulated. Melonie's still alive, and this is day 3. And so by that time, I think we had started to calm down a little bit, because it was like, okay, she's still fighting. That's great, you know? And then that's when we got a call saying, you need to come up to the NICU room. This is urgent. And so we went up there, and they were basically telling us her oxygen levels are dropping. And we don't think there's anything we can do to stop them from dropping. So make sure you call all your family up here. We do believe that she may be passing away. And I think that was kind of like a blow to me, like the hardest blow, because I really just felt like I thought everything was getting better. You know, I did not expect for us to be the parents that would lose our first child that way, you know, such a traumatic way.
I think it was just more so just like the ups and the downs. And it wasn't like a consistent, steady moment. And I think actually going into that third day, we had just fell asleep, and then we woke up to that. So, like I said, for me, I know when we heard the news, it was definitely you could feel like the transitioning. Like looking back hindsight, like you could definitely feel like transitioning of like, our daughter she's not going to be here with us.
Yeah.
And, it at that initial moment, it definitely caused like a lot of tears. And we wanted to make sure that this was a moment just with us.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the communication on like setting those moments up for your family, the initial family.
Right.
And however you guys may do it is based upon you. But if that's something that's you, your spouse, or you and your partner, or whatever the co-parenting thing, that's just a moment for you guys.
Right.
Make sure that you guys make that moment as memorable as you can.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we tried to do.
We had music.
We had music. Up. And I do appreciate the doctors allowing us to just have our moment with her, as long as she could,
We set up music. We opened the window. I want to say because it was like later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we purposed in our heart, as long as she was alive, we were going to be up there with her. Right. We had them bring our food up, bring my medication up.
Now, mind you, we didn't eat.
We didn't eat at all.
She had to force her to eat, but I didn't.
Right, because I had to take the medicine. And so we had to, we had everything brought up to us. Even like some family came and went, and some of his people from his job came and went. But we specifically just wanted it to be us and her. Because I don't know if parents' intuition, we knew that she was transitioning on. Yeah. But it wasn't like a tearful day for us. We made it the most. We wanted to make sure that she knew that she was loved.
Yeah, send her off, the right way.
Yeah, and so we played worship music. I sung to her. Yeah. We prayed over her. We just cuddled her. I would take a turn for 30 minutes, and then you would take a turn for 30 minutes. We were just going back and forth, just holding her. And I want to say right at 2:35.
Yeah.
2:35, her heart rate started to drop.
Yeah.
And it was just we just watched it just slowly just drop until it was just, she had no more heartbeat. And at that point, they went ahead and pulled her oxygen plug. And I remember specifically just feeling like a piece of my heart just left.
Yeah.
And
same here.
It was just I was almost in shock, just that fast. She's gone. Just that fast. I was just feeling her kick in my stomach,
right.
Not even 2 days ago. And just that fast, she's gone. Or 3 days ago, because I went into labor. And it was just I felt immediately, I felt numb. The first couple of hours, I felt numb. It was everything became a blur to me. Mm-hmm. People came in from his job, they're hugging us, saying they're sorry. Families coming in, hugging us and stuff. But it was just
I just remember, from that moment, because I remember she was in my arms when that happened. I don't remember after she passed away. I still try to remember to this day, and I don't. It's I can't remember after her passing away. I just remember after she passed away, we had to go back downstairs.
Yeah. And
it was just quiet. Now mind, during this time we're talking to each other, we're praying, we're crying out together, we're seeking God. It was just a quietness. And it was that somber feeling of did this just happen to us? Because everybody in my family, they're alive.
Right.
Death is not really prevalent in our family.
Right.
We're still gracious enough on my side of the family to still have everybody there. So for that news to come the way it did, it definitely was a shocker on my side. And I just remember I just shut down.
Yep.
I shut down, and I just didn't know how to really go about it after the fact, because I'm still thinking okay, this is my daughter's gonna raise up any moment. That's what I'm thinking. Melonie's gonna raise up, and this is what's gonna happen. That we're not gonna be the parents who just lost their child, their first child.
Right.
We're married. I'm thinking hey, I feel like we're doing things to us the right way.
Right.
Like, hey, you know, we're married, we're trying to do this the right way, we're getting things in order, our daughter's coming. Great. You know, I've always wanted a daughter. You know, I knew I was gonna have a daughter, but I'm like, I had a daughter and I lost her, and she died in my arms.
Yeah.
She passed away, and that was the worst feeling ever as a father. And still to this day, it still hits. Still those moments you think about it, but yeah. So
yeah.
you just.
I mean, there are definitely gonna be tears in this video.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just because it's just real raw emotion of how everything happened. I think that neither one of us expected it to happen the way that it happened.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, God, how could you allow this to happen to us? Like, now don't get me wrong, when she transitioned, we felt God there with us.
Right.
But it was just like still that initial, why us? You know, why did this have to happen the way that it happened?
Right.
You know?
I think it's completely normal to have those emotions, you know. I mean, like I said, we get emotional and
it's just like, I don't remember anything after that because I just got numb. Like I said, we both kind of shut down because it was just like, what? You know? Right. I do remember them basically taking us back downstairs.
It's the slowest walk ever.
Yeah. Taking us back downstairs and having us, did we have to fill out paperwork or something? Mm-hmm. They put me on medicine, put me on depression pills. It was so quiet in the room, like
you know how they say you could hear Mike shouting, like it was
a pin drop,
like a pin drop. Just
it was really quiet. So they had the chaplain come down and
did the baptism.
Yeah,
did the baptism with Melonie, and you know
we gave her her first bath.
The clothes.
Yeah, we picked out her clothes. She had a little bit of hair on her head, so I just brushed it and put her little pink cap, her little pink cap on her head. Yeah. And we just kind of just stood there, and people came in to see her, but
I think it was already.
Yeah, it was too late.
Yeah.
So they did baptize her, and we just held her. Again, but we just held her, and we just wanted that moment just to really process the fact that our child was really gone. And it was hard. It was definitely hard. It was a lot of tears. It was a lot of whys. You know, a lot of people were trying to make it about them. Yeah. But it was just like, it wasn't about them. And
I feel like we actually had that right to really focus on us.
Yeah.
And because our whole marriage has always been around helping people, helping communities, helping churches, helping the organizations where we worked at.
Right.
And just for that moment, at least that space and the time on, we actually started just focusing on how we felt about it.
Right.
And like almost being like unapologetic about the decisions that we made. Definitely. Now granted, I'm not saying I'm going out here slapping old people, you know, but just like making those moments and like making those timely decisions just based upon where we're at emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, just being aware of every decision that we make and being for us. And you know, we decided to pull back.
Yeah. And
we realized, you know, kind of feel like we're going into the next episode, which I don't want to do. Hopefully you guys do stay around for that, because we'll really talk about the after the loss. because we kind of really go down like to the things that don't really talk about.
Yeah.
When it comes to losing a child, first child, or whatever it is, just grief in general.
Right.
You're just grieving. Like, we'll really go into detail about like those moments, because I feel like we miss it's in the details.
Yeah.
It's not so much just like in the generic answer. Because it's like when you're going through something like this, you just be like, oh, I just made it out. It's like, that's not encouraging.
Right.
No, you need details and really open up and like just be as transparent and translucent as you possibly can. And that was something that we had to learn during that time. So, but because I don't want to talk too much about that because I feel like I'm going to jump right into it. But yeah, I feel like we did what was best for us individually and definitely as a unit. And definitely as a marriage, because we had to, because it was like at that point it's like, yo, it's, I won't say it's us against the world, because there were some people for us, but
Right.
at that moment it was just like, yo, we just need to focus on what we have to do.
Right.
And you know, we did what we did. So
Yeah, and so we will definitely have a part 2 to this.
Yes.
Because there was a whole process even after, after losing her. So definitely stay tuned for that,
Yeah.
and we will get it to you guys as soon as possible. But we just wanted to really focus on Melonie's story, Melonie's story, just about her. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell every time, so you can be notified every time we upload a new video, guys. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the love, and we will catch you guys in the next video. All right.